Let me get to the other religion, which is on my mind, because I was much more excited about the Arab Revolution in the Middle East this week before we heard the horrible news about Lara Logan. And I looked at this. 94 journalists last year were killed. That's a lot. 139 the year before. You know, it's easy to forget when you see these, what we consider TV stars, because there are anchor men and anchor women over there. It's not a reality show. This shit is really dangerous. And we do not know the details of what happened there, but I think it's fair to say Muslim men have a bad attitude about women in general. And I would just like to say to them that you're never going to have this revolution happen unless there's also a sexual revolution that goes with it. Really, Tavis? You have a... Muslim men don't have a problem with women?
No, I'm not going to argue that. And let me just say up front, I agree with you.
I was going to cut your head off.
No. Better my head than what Kevin...
All right.
I was going to say that, first of all, that obviously what happened to Lara Logan is reprehensible, horrific. We can't find a language to describe what happened to her. But having said that, if our democracy bill, if our readiness for democracy in this country is based upon, demonstrated by our respect for women, then we ain't ready for democracy in this country.
That is a false equivalence.
No.
Please.
Absolutely not.
Are you serious? You think this country, the men in this country, have an attitude that even comes close to what...
I'm suggesting to you, if you think that the way we treat women in this country, with patriarchy still alive and well, sexism still alive and well, is determinative or demonstrative of how well our democracy runs, I think you don't understand how maltreated women are still then in this society. That's all I'm saying.
What I'm saying is you have no perspective. You have no perspective.
No, I'm saying you have no perspective.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if you look at the history of the United States, I would say that actually democracy leads to better attitudes toward women, because when the United States was founded, of course, women couldn't vote.
Right.
African Americans couldn't vote, and we got there eventually. So I think you've got it reversed.
No, I don't. 19 of 22 Arab countries, women cannot vote. In Egypt, women, if you want to divorce your husband, you have to go to court. If a man wants to divorce his wife, he just has to say that, what they call the triple talaq or something. I divorce thee, I divorce thee, I divorce thee. That must happen like on the first fight. It must be so...
I've been trying to have 12 years of marriage.
Right,
don't work, man. Don't work.
In Saudi Arabia, women cannot drive a car, sail a boat, fly a plane, which is why their tampon ads are just horseback riding.
But don't you think in the end people have a right to self-determination? Or you're saying that they shouldn't have... How does a continuation of strongman rule lead to better attitudes toward women?
Civilization begins with civilizing the men. The women are sort of already there. You have to bring along the men, and I know this is anecdotal, but, you know, talk to women who've ever dated an Arab man. The reviews are not good. They have a sense of entitlement. They will say, yes, we put women on a pedestal. As long as they're obedient, they're on the pedestal.
Every man I've ever dated has a sense of entitlement. I don't know.
Have you ever dated? Have you ever dated a Middle Eastern man? No. Okay.
All I'm saying respectfully is, and I don't disagree with the fact that they've got a long way to go. What I'm trying to suggest to you is that when we have these conversations about how they treat women, as if somehow we treat women better in this country.
We do.
It demonizes Muslim. It demonizes Muslims.
No, it's not demonizing. That's saying that I'm prejudiced. I'm saying I'm not prejudiced. That's prejudging. I'm not prejudging. I'm judging. I'm judging.
Can we all agree?
They're worse. What's wrong with just saying that? You're a cultural relativist. It's not relative. Yes, it is relative.
Call them Republicans?
No.
I don't think there's any worse. I don't think there's a worse version of sexism. It's either right or it's wrong. It's acceptable or it's unacceptable. You're trying to shade this thing.
Here, let me give you two examples of how it might be worse. We talked about this a couple of years ago, but it was in the paper last week. A man in Buffalo, very successful man, a Muslim man named Mazamal Hassan. He ran a TV network in Buffalo aimed mostly at countering Muslim stereotypes. He cut his wife's head off. got mad at her and cut his wife's head off. He was convicted just last week, got 15 years to life. Boy, 15 years you get for cutting your wife's head off, that's a pretty good deal.
I got to say, I want to talk about Lorena Bobbitt.
All these things are horrible, but are you saying they
much.
shouldn't be able to have democracy?
No,
I mean,
I'm not. Oh, I'm not. I want them to have democracy. I'm just saying it's not going to happen unless you get right with your attitudes about women. That has to come with this, or it's never going to happen.
Can't you see what hellfire missiles do to Muslim women? Just last week, you continued to reify the lies about 9/11.
Dad, shut up!
No,
That battery, you accidentally, illegal by our authority. Do not touch me. That battery.
does this happen very often?
You guys.
And by the way, had nothing to do with what we were saying.
No.
I mean, yes, obviously, that's another issue which we could debate. I might even be on the man's side about how much we should be having drone attacks against Afghans.
I think respectfully, Bill, that notwithstanding, I think that it might surprise us to go into our papers in this country every day and to see stories just like this of how women are maltreated in this country every single day.
Bullshit.
If you keep comparing us to them,
there's a 1 in 3 rape statistic in
you
this
never get to the
country.
real core of the issue.
But don't you think things have gotten better? I mean, just go watch
Of
Mad
course,
Men. Life
of
has gotten
course.
so much better.
Of course. But that's
I mean,
relative.
in this country, we treat women badly because they
Because we're sexist, and we're patriarchal.
They don't get equal pay, or someone calls you sugar tits, or something like that. In that in those countries,
okay? You think that's okay, though?
I don't, but I don't think it's comparable to cutting their heads off, not letting them drive, not letting them work. I mean.
And all I'm saying is, we missed the point. If what you want to do is to compare, you win that argument.
Oh, okay,
But my
good.
point is, it's not about comparing. It's about either right or wrong, how we treat people. And I think it's wrong there, and it's wrong here.
It's
That's all
more
I'm saying.
wrong there. Degree matters. Degree matters. Yes.
Malcolm X said, if you put a knife in my back 9 inches and you pull it out 6, you call that progress. I still got a knife in my back. I don't necessarily believe that degree always matters, Bill.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what would you rather do? Make 80 cents on the dollar or have your head cut off?
I would rather us stop acting like that we know the answers to everything, that we're always right, that our way is always better, that we don't make mistakes, that that's what I would rather.
We don't know the answers to everything, but I do know we treat women better.
I would agree with that.
You know what? When you tolerate intolerance, you're not really being a liberal. Let's move on.